Hello. It is October 1st. It is in Dear Grace, and this is the Earth signs for the month of October. And I am using Yasmin Boland's Moonology Oracle cards for this month. And the reason I'm doing that is because the month of October has two full moons. We are currently in it, being on October 1st. This is the first full moon of the month, and that is the Hunter's full moon, and then, or the Hunt full moon, and then the one at the end of the month on the 31st which is Halloween, is the blue moon. And so because full moons create a lot more energy for us as human beings, I thought we would use the Moonology Oracle cards today. So here we go. So we're going to start with Taurus, and Taurus has new moon in Libra, and that is a new romantic cycle begins. And so this came up earlier for another sign, and I can't remember which one. But ultimately, when people see that, they think, "Oh gosh, I'm gonna get into a relationship. Like this is gonna be, I have this new relationship or something." And yes, but perhaps not in the way that you might imagine. And some people who are already in relationships are like, I don't want to have another relationship. I'm happy in the relationship that I want. Or people who are single are like, I don't want a new relationship. I'm happy being single. And so you have to take this from the perspective of spirit. And romance doesn't always mean with another person. Okay. Sometimes it can mean for yourself. So for those Taurus for this month, the Taurians, if you will, some of you may be starting a new relationship with somebody. Some of you may be in a relationship with someone, and that relationship goes to a whole new level of romance, of love. Okay. Some of you may be going into a new cycle within yourself of romance and love. And as I jokingly said, but somewhat not jokingly, that doesn't mean that you have to go get a new box of batteries or anything like that. Sometimes that happens. That romance cycle happens for yourself in ways of like self-care and self-love, the non-battery operated type of self-love, although that's not a bad thing either. But what I mean is perhaps you begin engaging in more self-care, you take more baths. The fall and the winter are really great times to take a lot of baths. It warms the body. And it helps shake off the cobwebs that we can't always shake off because going outside can be very difficult when it gets colder. But it's also about new exercise routines, more rest, acknowledging the changes in your life, that kind of stuff, and being gentle with yourself. So the new romantic cycle coming in may not always mean that it's a relationship with another person. It could be yourself. The other thing that came up in the other reading, and Archangel Raphael is mentioning it again, is that sometimes that means that it's time to get a new pet. And that can be a new relationship or a new romantic cycle. So if you have been thinking about getting a dog or a cat or a hedgehog or a fish or something like that, this might be the month that you do that. All right. Now, I was not excited to see this, Virgo, and although it can be pretty good. And this is full moon in Aries, which is exactly what we are in right now. And it talks about a fiery climax approaching. So something is coming to an end for you, for Virgos. Something is coming to an end. It's up to you how that ends. Okay, so something's coming to its peak. And so it's going to be up to you how that happens. Monitor your emotions. And if you are being competitive, if you are being forceful, if you're being assertive or aggressive, you're being encouraged and invited to step back and say, let me see if we can do this in a win-win. The end is coming, but let's do it in a win-win situation. Okay, so you have the power to determine how the end comes about. And so that's what Spirit is indicating. It doesn't have to be a fiery climax approaching as long as you take control over your emotions. Okay, but October heralds kind of the end of something for you. All right. And then For Capricorn for the month. You have full moon in Capricorn. All right. And this says the end of a tough cycle is approaching. So, also for the month of October, for another earth sign, is the end of a tough cycle. So, Capricorn, you may have been going through some really, really hard times recently. It could be emotionally, it could be financially, it could be mentally or physically. You could have had an illness. The end of that is all approaching. So, and Spirit is indicating to be very, very gentle with yourself as this end of the tough cycle approaches. Like, it's not time to like go in full blown. It's be really super gentle as you start this, as this end comes about, because with each ending also becomes a new beginning. So you don't have to go in like a raging bull. You can just allow everything to, allow the dust to settle for a while and look around and see what direction you want to go in next. All right. So, that is it for Earth signs for the month of October. If you don't follow me and you want to follow me on social media, I am on Facebook as Follow Your Sun with Indira Grace, Instagram as Follow Your Sun _ Indira Grace. And I will be back on in November with the November reading. It's going to be really exciting, I hope. And I will see you all then. In the meantime, be good to each other. Namaste. And God bless you. And I will see you all in November.